I didn't even wake up fully yet, but I just want to thank all of you for listening to Anyah Uncensored. Right now we're at 17 plays right now on Anchor FM, and I'm so happy. It makes me really happy to know that people actually like it and people actually taking it in. Keep posting it all over your IG, your Snapchat. Tell your friend, tell your auntie, tell your uncle. Don't tell your parents because I don't want them to know to have a potty mouth. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I really, really appreciate it. I don't know, who knows? Might just have a party, or this weekend might just have a link up, who knows? But thank you guys so much. And I'm finally ready to do the big reveal of the surprise. You guys have been asking, and I'm now finally ready to deliver. Anyah Uncensored will now be available on YouTube.
Which one are you feeling? You have Prosecco.
I wanted the sparrow. Oh, the sparrow is that there.
The Sparrow there.
I like one of those people.
Say hi.
Hi.
Cheers. Come on, man.
Okay, are you guys all ready?
Oh, yeah, you have to actually pull everything up.
Everyone has to have their phones out, guys.
Yes, we take out my phone. Jeez.
It's the vision I had in my head.
Okay, we take on the vision. The vision.
With the flashes on.
She wants everybody to video her.
Yes, video. Everybody take out your flashes. I mean, right? I want to see, like, you know, when you're in dance or concert. You know what I mean? Wave your hand up in the air. Yes, I mean. Just shut up. Oh, focus. Oh, you have to shake it up in the Anyah.
Oh, guys, I have to make my speech first.
Oh, you have to make your speech. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, them
Wait.
already now.
I'm ready now.
No, hold on. You can't make them a drink ready.
Yeah, man, pour your drink, you see me? We gotta mix the vodka, you know.
I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, man, bad still, no white rum, man, sorry. Yeah, man, so Anyah, go ahead.
Radio.
Give me a.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want to thank all of you guys for coming out to celebrate this huge milestone with me. I mean, honestly, Anyah Uncensored is my personal project, and all of you guys have, you know, been there with me from the get-go, you know, so I wouldn't want to have this any other way. I wouldn't want to have anyone else celebrating my 1-year anniversary.
Aww.
Yeah.
What's on there?
So I'm really happy that all of you guys came out to celebrate with me, you know, 1 more year.
Yes.
Hopefully next year the podcast will be bigger and better. And yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah, man, yeah. Woo!
Okay.
That's on the limb. Woo! Give me a whoop, give me a yip yip.
Shake it properly.
Shake it properly. Ooh.
huge responsibility.
You're gonna say a nice one,
And y'all are not gonna shit up, okay?
but don't tell me say drunk for the liquor must
Okay, I'm not drunk, Trevor.
Yeah. them glasses there are different skills, you know.
I can't see the haters.
Period.
Haters are my motivators, okay?
Okay, sorry. Do you think for me? Anyah M, do it for me.
Hi guys, it's your boujee friend, Anyah. Hi guys, it's your bougie friend Anyah M, and welcome to the anniversary episode of Anyah Uncensored. So, as you guys should realize by now, I'll be posting this episode on the actual anniversary of the podcast, which is December 29th. It's officially been a whole year now since I've been doing Anyah Uncensored, and I should be inserting a little vlog clip at the starting of my journey starting the podcast up until now. So I hope you guys enjoyed. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, you guys would see it. But the persons who are listening via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, you guys will probably have to head over to the IG page at Anyah ANYAH.uncensored, and you'll be able to see the video there without having to watch the YouTube video. So I want to talk a little bit before I even get into the questions. So I told you guys I was going to be doing a Q&A for the 1 year anniversary. So this podcast honestly means the world to me. My supporters, my listeners mean the world to me also, because if it wasn't for you guys, I literally would not be here on this couch out here almost every week or every other week talking my heart out. So you guys are really my motivating factor as to why I've been doing the podcast and why I've continued doing the podcast. Honestly, a lot of people might look at the whole celebration type thing and be like, this is something minor, why is she doing the most for it? And honestly, you guys know I'm not completely transparent about everything, but I try to be as transparent about stuff that I'm comfortable talking about. I started the podcast, like I said, last year, and when I started the podcast, I was in a rough place in my life, and the podcast really and truly helped keep me going every single day, because it was just like I had something looking forward to. As in, I would come on, well, at that time I wasn't doing YouTube, so I wasn't doing the video version, but at that time I would literally just pick up my microphone, go around my laptop and just record and just talk my heart out, and so that people genuinely like to hear me talk about stuff. It was like a motivating factor for me, and it just kept me going. So I had a really rough year. Like, even before COVID, I had a really, really rough year. And, a few of my friends would have known, like, the stuff that were happening and things. But a lot of people don't, because, like I said, I'm a very private individual. Okay, technical difficulties. I had to make sure I was recording, guys. But, yeah, like, it was a really rough year for me. So for me, being able to celebrate this aspect of my life, I'm grateful. I'm absolutely great. These dogs will not come with the foolishness tonight, coming in it. I'm not into it. Oh God. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, as in, I'm just really grateful to have reached this milestone. Oh God, Asia, stop it. Anyways, it's a really big deal for me, like, to reach this far. It's a really, really big deal for me, and honestly, it can only get better from here. Anyways,
yeah, it's a really big deal for me. And honestly, Asia! Anyways, yeah, it's a really big deal for me. I'm just really grateful for the fact that you guys have really stuck it out with me, and you guys were here, you know, on the journey with me. This podcast made me realize a lot of stuff about myself that I wouldn't want to say I never knew, but I never acknowledged. So I'm just really grateful for that, and if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have been able to do any of those things. You know, I'm not trying to get all mushy, you know, you guys know that ain't me. But I just want to tell you guys how much I really appreciate every single one of you. I'm so grateful to all my listeners. Every single time I come on this podcast, I always talk about how grateful I am for my listeners, because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. And it's just like, I'm just, wow, like I'm overjoyed to know that I've reached this, you know, journey, and you guys are here with me. I'm just really overjoyed. And I'm a woman of many words when it comes on to chatting, you know, about my topics that I want to talk about. But when it comes on to like emotional, touchy things, I'm not really a woman of many words. But I just want to say thank you. I love you guys. I love every single one of you. So this week's body drink is some water. So as you guys know, we gotta take our sip together or whatever. Y'all did thirsty. So I asked you guys on Instagram to send me some questions that you'd want to know about me. You guys never really asked nothing juicy. Like, I'm cool with that though. I'm definitely cool with that. I ain't complaining. But I thought you guys were going to ask me like some juicy questions. But like I said, I'm still grateful for these questions. So the first question I got was, what is the best gift you got for Christmas? The best gift I got for Christmas, was last year. I don't know how many of you guys know this, but I'm very much into hair. I'm into making wigs, doing braids. I'm also the one that does my braids. Every single hairstyle you see me come on the podcast with, literally, I do it myself. But that's another question that I'm going to answer, because someone asked about that too. But yeah, last Christmas, my mom got me a wig stand, because when I first started making wigs, I used to have one of the desk ones that you have to screw on to a table. And eventually, like, it wasn't really that sturdy, because I bought a cheap one on AliExpress. So I had that using for a while, and it literally wasn't that efficient. So I was saying one day that, okay, I want to get a wig stand, because I'm planning to get more serious about this. My mom heard me talking about it, and I was saving up for it, because I wouldn't want to say it was a hefty sum of money, but it wasn't no chum change where I could literally just pick up myself and just swipe my card with. So my mom heard me talking about it and for Christmas last year she got it for me. So that was literally the best Christmas gift I can remember right now, because I've gotten really nice Christmas gifts over the years, but that's the one that stood out to me the most. In the moment. Someone asked, how is the college life and how has it changed since COVID? College life is stressful. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not going to sit up here and cap and talk about how I'm surviving. I'm not surviving. I'm holding on by a few threads, because I'm not a school person. Like, I don't, honestly, apart from the podcast, I don't really like anything else. Like, apart from the podcast and doing hair, I don't like anything else. So me having to put down my foot and go and do some schoolwork, it's so much harder for me to do. Ask me to record a podcast episode, you guys will get it a lot quicker than my schoolwork. Even sometimes too, the podcast, I'll be lacking sometimes too. Anyways, beyond the point. But I'm holding on by a few threads. I should be finishing up this year, but I don't think I'm going to be graduating with my year group, because I have a few more courses I need to finish up. So I will not be graduating with my year group, and I've accepted that fact, and I'm quite okay with it. I don't want anyone to make me feel bad about it. Don't let anybody make you feel bad for not graduating with your year group, okay? Don't make anybody make you feel bad, because next thing you know, you might haste and make waste. You might haste and say, oh my god, someone finished up with my what do you call it, your batchmates, whatever the hell you guys call it. But yeah, you might go rush and go say, okay, I want to go do that, and chances are you miss getting honors. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna get honors, but I mean, that's beyond the point also. In relation to COVID, I like online school way better than physical school. The fact that my classes are recorded, I love it, because that's kind of what I wanted with regular school. I wish that my classes could have been recorded, because if it's a case where I missed something in my class, I could literally go back to the recording. Because honestly, anybody that knows the university that I go to, they know it's a patty shop, but I need my degree at the end of the day. And you know, the lecturers sometimes don't exactly perform that well. We're not going to call the name of the school that I go to, but yeah, I wish all my classes were recorded in physical school, because now I'm learning a lot more in online school than I was in physical school, because my mind tends to doze off completely. Like I said, I'm not interested in anything apart from my podcast and here. Someone asked, will you be getting married soon? I'm 21 years old. That's all I gotta say. I'm 21 years old. I have a few more years until I even think about getting married. And I don't know if I've said this on the podcast before, but I don't see myself getting married. I've just never grown up around people who are married. And all the people I know that are married, they're divorced. So I don't really have that much, as in I don't have any like married couple role models to look up to say, oh my gosh, I want to be married. I only have one person in my life who is married, and they're a young couple. So I don't know. Any regrets in starting your podcast? Absolutely none. My only regret is that I didn't start it earlier. Like, I wish I started it as soon as I left high school, because I know that if I was in high school, I don't think I could have started it, because my high school, they're very strict about like social media and them thing there. So the things that I talk about on my podcast, I probably couldn't have done it if I was going to my high school. So I wish I started it as soon as I left high school. Honestly, as soon as my results, well, not as soon as my results came out, but as soon as I left school, I wish I started it. Someone asked, is your podcast monetized, and how is it? My podcast is not monetized. I'm not getting paid. I'm still broke. I don't know, if you guys want to deposit some money into my PayPal account to keep my podcast going. I can drop my PayPal link down below. I'm so serious, I'm going to drop it down below. So if you guys want to contribute to, making sure you guys get great content, then drop a $2, $3, $50 down in my PayPal. But no, I'm not getting monetized yet. The only thing is that I need sponsors, because in terms of like podcasting, it's harder to get monetized, because it's either you take it to YouTube or you wait on sponsorships. And a sponsor is not just going to randomly pick you up if you have literally probably like 1,000 subscribers. Hey, about 1,000 subscribers, like 1,000 listeners, or you have to be raking in some serious numbers when it comes on to listeners for you to even get sponsorship. So I'm not monetized right now, but if you would like to sponsor Anyah Uncensored, please to hit me up in the DMs. Oh, and how is it? My podcast is great. It's good. I'm at a good place. It's at a good place. So yeah. Oh, someone said, your wigs and protective style, girl, ! Would love some details. Like every single hairstyle you guys see me come on the podcast with, or you see me on IG with, I do it. I have not been to a hairdresser in around 3 years now. I think the last time I went to a hairdresser was to get my hair braided, and that was like when I was in first year. And apart from like, I have not done any form of, I have not gone to the hairdresser since then. So anything your hairstyle you guys see me have on, I did it. So if you like my hairstyles, please go check out my business page, my hair page. I'm gonna drop it right here. It's called AOM Hair Place. I think I said it on the podcast before that new things are coming for AOM Hair Place. I'm rebranding. Make sure you guys go check out the Instagram page because in January I have a few stuff coming for that. Someone asked, what's one piece of relationship advice you'd give to a young girl? You guys are supposed to know by now that my relationship advice is very much not the typical female, response. But I think the best advice I could give to a young girl is put some value on yourself. Like, it's like even me, it took me a while to realize my true worth, and it made me not realizing my true worth made me not put up with certain things. It made me demand respect because I feel like I am a princess and I think I should be treated as such. So if I'm also a very vocal person, so if I feel like you're not treating me well or you're not doing something, I'm going to tell you that you're not doing it. Because at the end of the day, I'd rather tell you how I should be treated than not tell you and then you actually upset me, because that's going to be a completely different story, and then I'm going to be the one that's hurt, and there's nothing's going to happen to you because at the end of the day you think that what you're doing is okay. Yeah, so I think it's the best thing I could tell a girl. Know your true worth, and yeah, and it's definitely something that you have to work on because it's not something that happens overnight. Because a lot of us, I feel like young girls, we aren't really taught how to value ourselves based on society. We aren't really taught that well how to value ourselves because we're told or we're taught to put up with a lot of things that just are not okay, like men thinking that it's okay for them to have multiple women. I think one episode I had with Jabari, he said this, that women normalize bun. And I mean, at the time, I'm just like, this boy is talking foolishness, but it's actually very true. We do normalize bun to an extent because we know, say, yo, if the dirty boy cheat, we're gonna take him back. We have to stop normalizing things like that and realize and put value on ourselves and stop taking excuses from men. Signed by Anyah M herself, and that's on what? Period hose. Someone asked, what is the meaning behind your intro? Okay, so as you guys know, my intro is, hi guys, it's your boujee friend Anyah M. Anyah is my first name. M is the initial to my last name. What's very funny is that I was going to name the podcast because my last name is McVoity. So I was going to name the podcast McVoity's Corner. But then I was just like, too many people are going to mess up my last name. And I wasn't on that. I really wasn't on it. So I was just like, yo, I'd rather, say Anyah Uncensored than use my last name. Because I really hate when people mess up my last name. It irks my soul. Even though I know it's not a common last name, I still don't like when people mess it up. So I just decided that, hey, I'm going to say Anyah Uncensored. So yeah, so that's where that's where the Anyah M part comes from. The boujee part now, I started off as a joke with my friends because my friends always say the way how I behave is just so boujee. Not like boujee in a bad way, act like I'm better than people, but it's just that my whole demeanor is just different. We're just different. So even when I drink, I don't know if you guys notice, but when I drink stuff, my pinky's always out. When I'm eating, my pinky's always out. Everything just always, I don't know how to describe it. It just came up as a joke and it just kind of latched on where people just started saying, oh, my boujee friend Anyah M. Get me? So it just kind of stuck on before I even started the podcast. So I just decided to keep it going. Someone asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So 5 years from now, I'll be 26. I have big plans for myself. By the time I'm 26, I want to be working towards a lot of things. I don't want to be one of those persons who is playing catch up at the age of 35, pushing on to 40. I think that my mom has instilled a lot in me in terms of trying to hustle for myself. So I want to
by 26, I want to be making strives to have my own house. I'm not going to say, okay, by 26, I have to have my own house, but I should be making preparations to have my own house by that time. So that's to tell you my main goal. For 26, that's my main goal, because I'm also really big on real estate, but I don't want to sell property. I just want to have property and, you know, rent them out and collect the rent money. that's what I want to do. But yeah, I'm really into real estate, so I think that would probably be, that's on the top of my agenda for when I'm 26. What's your favorite clothing store? Honestly, anywhere the cheap clothes there, that's where is my favorite clothing store. So right now I've been loving Shein a lot, and I do like Fashion Nova, but like I said, I only like Fashion Nova sales section, and I like to shop on Fashion Nova when they're having their big sales. So yeah, those are my main websites for now. I used to like Forever 21, but I feel like I have to, like, okay, for me to get the nice stuff at Forever 21, I have to physically go to the store, not shop online, because the online store, it just, I don't know, it just doesn't catch my eye like that. And when I think about the conversion from USD to JMD, like, it just always looks too much. So yeah. Someone asked, do you have a man? If no, are you ready to mingle? Signed, management. First of all, I would like to know, who do you think you're approaching like that? So this is what's wrong with these men nowadays. You know, it's always just, oh, are you single? Do you want to mingle? Never, oh, what's the 9 digits to your bank account? What's your PayPal? Which bill do you need to get paid? How much does your hair cost? No, it's always, are you single and ready to mingle? Y'all are trash. Y'all are, oh my god, y'all irks my soul. Like, that whole statement just irks my soul and upset my night. So thank you to whoever said that to me. You just upset my night. Let me tell you something. Let me give you guys a word of advice. You men don't know how to approach women. First of all, you guys need to learn how to approach women first before you even try to look a woman. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about like women in general. Some of you men, your approach is just completely wrong. Maybe that line would get you to talk to a certain girl, but some it's just not. But the answer is no, I'm not. Anyways, someone asked, what do you enjoy the most? I honestly would say my own company. I like being by myself, but I wouldn't want to say I like being by myself all the time. I just like to be in my own little space, and the people that are close to me know that. They know how I stay. They know that sometimes they say they want to go to a place and I'll be like, I don't want to go, and I'm not gonna go, because I don't like to force myself to do things I don't want to do. So, you know, being comfortable in my own space, and like even when I do want to socialize with other people, I like to socialize in like a chill type setting. I mean, yeah, I like to go out sometimes, but I like to chill more. Like, I rather chill at my friend's house than party sometimes. So yeah, that's what I enjoy the most, you know, being around the people that I care about. The next question is, what made you start your podcast, and how has taking the first step impacted your life? So I started my podcast because I love to chat. My mouth is always, you know, running. But you'd actually be very surprised though if you saw me in person. I'm completely different. Like, Anyah on the daily is completely different from Anyah on the camera, and I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if it's the fact that I'm just talking to my phone over the fact that I'm talking to people in real life. Like, I don't know. When you see me in person, you guys will know. Like, if you guys, like, if you're not my friend or anything, and the first time you see me in person, I'm not the person that you see on the podcast. I promise you. Like, I'm really quiet and reserved. So but once I'm really comfortable, I just run my mouth all the time. So I like to talk, and I feel like I like, before I even started, I felt like my views weren't like regular girls, so I just wanted to like give my own input on certain topics.
and I just felt like I wanted people to listen to me. Like, I feel like the way how I behave like someone who you should listen to. Like, my whole demeanor is just listen to me because I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I don't know. That's kind of vibe I get from myself, that like I kind of give off that type of vibe. So I was just like, you know what? I just wanted to talk to people and, you know, just share my input on stuff. So that's what kind of made me start it. And how has the first step impacted my life? I would say it has changed my life in a significant way, because like I said, I'm a genuinely shy and reserved person, but because of the podcast, I had to put myself out there in order to get people to know who I am. So yeah, really, I think that's kind of it. Like, it made me more social, but I wouldn't say I'm a social butterfly. I definitely am not a social butterfly, but I just think it made me a lot more social. It also boosted my confidence, like, significantly, because I'm not going to come on here and front and talk like I'm the most confident person ever. If you guys listen to my very first episode, which is insecurities, and the episodes after that, I've like hinted at little stuff that I struggle with. So confidence is another thing I struggle with a lot. So the podcast helped me gain some more confidence, I would say. What are your major plans / objectives for next year? So I have a lot of personal plans that I've been developing on, and I also have a lot of personal plans that I've been developing on. So I won't be sharing every single thing with you guys until it's, you know, out in the forefront, and until your girl is ready. So not everything you guys will know until probably that appointed time. But so far the hair page should be relaunching in January. Well, I'm going to give myself January. But yeah, my hair page should be relaunching in January. I'm also going to take another knock at my thrift store. So guys, go check it out, Olivia's Thrifted, because I'm going to drop it right here, the handle right here. So yeah, I'll be taking another knock at that. Also, I have another business venture coming out, but I'm not really going to like make a page for it per se, because I don't know, right now I'm managing way too many IG pages, and also I need to get my stuff together and become a better social media manager for my pages, because I have my personal page, podcast page, what you call it, hair page, and thrift store page, and I need to, you know, develop some better skills when it comes on to that. So I will not be making a new IG page, but I'll be posting it on my regular IG, at Anyah_M. Yeah, that's my regular IG, so you guys can go follow me there. And I will be coming with something new also in January. January is, I just feel like it's just a rebirth year for me. Also, I have a little surprise coming up for the podcast, so you guys need to stay tuned for that. Yeah, it's a big surprise for the podcast, really. So you guys definitely don't want to miss it. So make sure you guys turn on your post notifications for the YouTube page and the regular IG page, because something big is coming. Someone asked, how do you stay motivated to continue making episodes with everything going on? And do you have any advice for anyone that's feeling down? When it comes on to being motivated, I didn't do so well. I'm not going to lie and say I did well this year. This year was, like I said before, this year was a really rough year for me. So I was at I would probably classify it as literally the lowest point in my life. So I wasn't really doing my best in being motivated because I had a lot going on. So I don't think I'm, you know, I don't think I'm like in the best place to answer it, but I will answer that question. I have a goal. I have specific goals. Like in my head, I have specific goals, and some things in my life have caused those goals to be a driving factor in me continuing my daily life, because a lot of times I genuinely feel like giving up, and I have my really, really low moments, but I try to remember those things that set off my head in the first place to want to achieve those goals, and I never forget it. I try, no matter how hard it gets sometimes, I really truly try to think about those goals that I've set for myself and the reasons as to why I've set those goals for myself in order for... Anyways, the fly is trying to steal my moment. But yes, that's how I try to stay motivated. And do I have any advice for anyone that's feeling down? I would just tell you to, if you find, if there's anything that you do that genuinely makes you happy, try to do it. And try to get your mind off of the thing that is making you feel down in the first place. Because we can't wallow in our own sadness. We have to remember that, because if you're going to sit down and mope every day about how sad you are, let me tell you something, sweetheart and sweet boy, but let me tell you guys something. No one is going to care. Like, everyone has their own problems dealing with, and you should never forget that everyone has their own problems dealing with. So no matter how much people be like, oh yeah, I'll always be there for you, yada yada yada, I'm not saying that they won't be there for you, but everyone has their own life to live. So you literally can't just sit down every day and wallow in your sadness. Like, you cannot, because it's going to do absolutely nothing for you. And at the end of the day, no one is obligated to help you out of your bad situations. No one, absolutely no one. Regardless of what we think about our parents, I mean, yeah, they're kind of obligated to an extent till a certain age, but after you reach a certain age, they really aren't. Like, and I learned that the hard way. A lot of people are not obligated to help you, and are not obligated to do anything for you. So you have to keep remembering what your goals are and how you're going to achieve them. I only got 2 kind of juicy questions. Someone asked, would you search phones? I think I've said this before on the podcast. I'm not a phone searcher person. I don't go in people's phones, not even my own friends' phones. I don't, because it's just not my thing. It's never really been my style. And I feel like if I go in someone's phone and find something I don't like, I'll probably just mash up the phone too. Like, I'll mash up the phone and mash them up. And that's on that. So I just don't do it. I just don't go in people's phones. I feel like people's phones are their personal. That's like the most personal aspect of a person's life, their phone. I don't like people searching my phone either. I feel like, okay, let me me not say that, because that's someone away, Anyah. But like, if it's someone who is not my friend, don't take up my phone. And even my friends, I don't even like when my friends take up my phone. And they just know that my phone is just my phone, you know. You don't really go in on my phone like that unless I give you permission, and not a lot of people have permission to go into my phone. So yeah, I don't have a problem with my significant other ones to search my phone either. Neither here nor there to me. Someone asked, what is your views on threesomes? No. Like, it's a no from me. I know a lot of men have that type of fantasy, but it's a no from me. Like, it's a no. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about sharing someone that I'm with. Like, someone who I genuinely care about with someone. Like, I don't know how I feel about sharing them with someone else. It doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't sit well with my psyche. So it's a no from me. Period. So this is the end of Anyah Uncensored. I want to thank you guys so much for listening. I want to thank all of you for being here for my 1-year anniversary. I am so grateful, and I'm so overjoyed. Like, guys, you don't even understand. Make sure you guys check out the podcast page on IG as Anyah ANYH.uncensored. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter. I have not been active on the Twitter page. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I was saying I was trying to be buzzy like the kids, but I don't know. Like, this Twitter stuff, I ain't got the hang of it yet. Like, I really don't have the hang of it. And I keep forgetting to tweet because I'm just like, oh my gosh, I would have to tweet very often for people to realize me. And I'm just like, I have the podcast and I talk so much on this, so why can't people just be scrolling my podcast and then just say, Bomba, let me go and watch her episodes? I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the love I've been getting. I appreciate all the DMs, everything. So yeah, bye guys. Love you.